Hi guys, welcome back to Planeta Terror Podcast. I'm Ivan, and today I'm really excited about this very special episode we have because we have a very special guest in the house today with us, sharing the mics. She is an actress, producer, and horror icon, a total screen queen. She is the one and only Sarah Nicklin. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
How
Thank
are
you
you
so much
doing
for having me.
today?
I'm great. Great, thank you.
I'm super happy, super excited about this. Like, I've been a fan of your work for a few years now. Like, I've been following your career, and I think like you are becoming one of my favorite faces of horror, independent
Oh my
horror, but
goodness.
but now you're stepping up into a little bit more mainstream, no, with
hmm
VHS Halloween. But yeah, I'm a fan. I'm like really kind of like celebrating with you every milestone you're having this year, and you're having an amazing year, of course.
I
So,
am. I am. Thank you. That's so sweet. That means a lot. You're gonna make me blush.
so yeah, thanks to you, like taking the time to chat with and connect with the audience and the fans, because yeah, I'm a fan with horror community. So yeah, it's fine to have this accessibility with stars and celebrities and actresses. So yeah, it means the world for me to have this conversation.
I think
So
that's a very important part is talking because the community is what makes horror so great. And we're all part of that. And so we should all be able to share in it and talk with each other and just celebrate the genre.
exactly, exactly. I feel like horror community is the best, and
Mhm.
there's so much friendship within. Like when I start doing this podcast, like I know through the podcast so many people around the world, like connecting with people in Spain, people in Latin America, Argentina,
Mhm.
Chile. So it's amazing. It's one of the biggest surprises for me doing this. And now, of course, having the chat with you and meeting you through the screens. It's amazing.
So fun.
So you are part of the two of the most talked about horror movies of the year. And also you are doing events, you are doing conventions, you're doing festivals, you are slaying the red carpet with your looks. How do you manage to keep with all of this work? Like,
Oh, I don't sleep. Um, I love it. Working in this industry is what I've always wanted to do since I was very young. And so even even when I'm tired and, I just want to take a nap or stay in and not go to the event, I have to because that's part of working in the industry is like when there is work, when there are opportunities, you have to take advantage of them because they might not be there tomorrow. So this year has been phenomenal. There's been so much happening, and it's been a lot to keep up with it. But who knows what next year is going to bring? So I'm trying to capitalize on everything as much as I possibly can.
yeah, what I see on Instagram mostly, like you've been doing events almost every month, no? Since the beginning of the year, and you premiere movies and red carpet. So yeah, it's insane all the amount of work that you are doing. But yeah, that's
Yep.
true. Like it's part of the job, no? It's part
Yeah.
of the job. Like being like how can I say like um put yourself out no of on all
hmm
these events, like even sometimes like maybe you are not, you don't have the energy to do it, but you need to be there, no?
You
To
need to be
be
there. You drink some coffee, you drink some Red Bull, you put on some makeup, and you go. You need to be
exactly,
there.
exactly. And of course you've been working in the industry for several years now,
hmm
and you're making your work really hard to all this, like this is not overnight success. You've been working
No.
like all the way up. And was this always your dream? Like when you wanted to become an actress, you want to be like involved in the horror world or community?
When I first started acting, I didn't necessarily say I want to do horror. but I just wanted to act. And the first movie roles that I got cast in were horror.
Mhm.
And then I mean, we talk about the horror community and how wonderful and loyal they it is, and how many fans there are, and people that make horror also watch horror. So those first movies that I did were distributed around the world, and people would see them, and then they would call me up and say, I want you to be in my horror movie.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of just how it got going. And then the more I worked in horror, the more I really consumed it and loved it, and really, because I didn't really watch horror when I was little, when I was growing up. My parents were not very much into horror.
No, my parents.
So yeah.
The-
So I didn't really understand the genre until I started working in it and being
Okay.
surrounded by people who loved it so much and really taught me a lot about the histories of a lot of films that I really love now. And now I can't imagine doing anything else. Now it's my favorite, and if I had to choose anything, I would choose horror, and I'm very happy that I'm working in horror.
And us, the fans, we want you to continue doing the horror. Like you are amazing doing it. Like, and you are such a chameleon because from I haven't seen you all of your filmography. Is so many films and titles, but the little that I have seen, you never play the same. Like I never
Mm,
see you playing the same character. You always do something extra. Like sometimes you are the lead, sometimes you are supporting character, sometimes you are the first victim, but you always do something different. And you're taking some bold risk. Like recently, especially like Garden of Eden. I haven't seen it, but I know that you have a really difficult time, no, doing that
mhm.
kind of job. Like it's so how can I say, like deep, and I don't know. Like, I need to see
Yeah,
it. Like it's so hard to at least in Canada, it's very hard to get. Like it's not available anywhere. So I'm doing my
yeah.
best to to try to watch it. Um, and now that you have this screen queen status, horror icon status, do you ever feel the pressure to keep that streak up?
Yeah, definitely. I think there is definitely a pressure to continue to work in horror, to go to all these events. Otherwise, you feel like you're missing out. And I mean, that's the thing about the entertainment industry is there's always someone that's right behind you that's ready to take your place. So if you don't keep going, you have to keep your foot on the gas always. If you take it off and you slow down at all, then you start to lose momentum and lose traction. So I'm always trying to continue to push myself to try new things and to try doing new characters. And I like to, even if I'm given a role or a script that is kind of like flat or like simple, I try to add things to it to make it more interesting, just even for me to do, because I don't want to do the same thing over and over again. So there's a lot of collaboration, and I'll bring ideas to the table. For example, I did a movie called Pretty Boy that came out earlier this
I
year,
saw it. I love
and
it.
I play so I play a deaf character in that, and I use sign language. That originally was written as a regular hearing character, but I had been learning sign language for a little while, and the filmmaker was exploring different types of communication in their films with another character who was blind. And
Oh.
so I thought, well, maybe if they would let me, I could use sign language, and that would be interesting and something new and different. So I asked them if I could do that, and they said yes. So it's
So
stuff like that.
you're always pushing more, no, through
I'm
this
trying,
character,
trying to.
even if it's small, because the character in Pretty Boy is a supporting character, but still you're
Yeah,
like you shine because you are doing something different than all the rest of the characters.
right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, you have got a really gruesome death scene there. Like I'm sorry, I'm spoiling the movie, but like I do remember when I started following you on social media, you were um, kind of started promoting Pretty Boy, and it was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
Yeah,
and it took really long time to premiere, and I think
it
it
did.
was available this year. I saw it this year, so yeah, it was worth it. No, waiting for it.
Yes.
It's real. What I like about it is it's so like 80s style,
hmm
and this the villain, the pretty boy, is so creepy. It's super creepy. It's like I feel like it deserves a way more recognition because it's really one of the creepiest villains that I've seen, at least in this year. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. They did a really good job with that
exactly.
and the 80s aesthetic. That's I'm so glad you picked up on that because that's exactly what they wanted with that. They wanted to make like an 80s slasher film and all the characters that get killed are purposefully kind of like those stereotypical characters, the jock, the stoner, the nerd. So you've got all of those in there on purpose. And we shot that in 2020 during the
Oh my God.
pandemic when
It's
everything was
five
locked down.
years.
So it took 5 years to come out.
Yeah, that's the independent filming, no? That's the
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, takes a long time.
Oh my God. But yeah, like speaking about Screen Queens, and one of the main reasons I started doing this show and the podcast is because I always been inspired by a horror a female figure. Like I
Mhm.
like to every time that I do a show or like episode, I always wanted to celebrate and recognize the amazing work that you do. And Mm, I know, of course, you have this status as a screen queens, but I want to know who are some of your favorite screen queens of all time.
Oh. Oh man. So it's kind of so my some of my favorites are actors that I don't know, people don't always call them scream queens, but they work a lot in horror.
Okay.
Like Vera Farmiga,
Hmm.
I think
Yeah,
she is
I think
fantastic.
but yeah, she's more recently she's been doing a lot of horror, but
A lot of
yeah,
horror. Yep.
she does everything, no?
Yeah.
Kind of. Mm.
Sarah Paulson also does a lot of horror, and
She's
she's
amazing.
phenomenal. I love her. Of course, Jamie Lee Curtis.
The OG.
OG,
Yeah,
exactly. And it's actually I've become friends with some scream queens
yeah, I
from the
know.
80s who like I, I love as people and I really respect and admire their work. Like Kelly Maroney, who was in Night of the Comet, and Judy Aronson, who was in the Friday the 13th. And so like there's a really nice community of horror actresses out here that all really know and like each other.
There is some rumor that you get together like once every while, like all the screen queens and actresses that do horror. Like you have some like getaways or meetings at some point in like.
So sometimes, I mean, we're all friends because
Okay.
a lot of people that work in the horror industry, you become friends with each other. And Barbara Crampton is wonderful, amazing, amazing lady and scream queen, and also another one of my favorites. And she'll sometimes have just parties at her house and invite her friends, and it just so happens that a lot of her friends are
Everyone,
women that are in
it's like
horror.
an like the oral convention fantasy, no? Like a fan going into that kind of nights, like will be like, oh my God, so many
Exactly.
stars and so many celebrities here. Yeah,
Yep.
so cool, so cool. And I want to ask you, like, I want to you imagine this scenario. You're teaching the Screen Queen 101 class. What would you consider the first and most important lesson for your students?
Well, I think the most important thing is to take it seriously
Okay.
because I think that a lot of times when people first start acting in horror, because it's so fun and we have so much fun in the genre, they're not really emotionally committing to the characters. They're just like, aha, look, I'm scared. Isn't this fun? Which is not going to give a good performance. So I think really committing to that, being serious with it, and then learning how to scream without losing your voice.
Mhm.
Also important to know how to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure it must be so tiring, like after a long day of shooting, screaming. Like sometimes when I go to a concert and you are like singing out loud and screaming, and
Hmm.
that night your voice is gone, no? So I
Exactly.
cannot imagine one like you shooting like a movie for 15 days, 20 days, 1 month, and no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so you have to learn how to take care of yourself like in between that being, and you might also be shooting like a very intense like screaming death scene, and then you have a lunch break, and then you're shooting like a quiet dialogue scene, and you need to be able to still have your voice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I think people doesn't realize like sometimes like public audience doesn't realize like the hard work you are putting and like the like sometimes the conditions that you are filming these movies are
Mhm.
not the best, no? You are cold, you are soaking wet, you are full of makeup and blood, like yeah.
Yeah. Horror is exhausting, but it's also some of the most rewarding, because you get to use everything. You use not only your acting skills, but there's a lot of physicality and like breathing that goes into creating these performances. And you're right. A lot of times you are in like weird locations or the woods in the middle of the night at 3 in the morning, getting hit in the face, and it's cold, and so and everyone's usually really fantastic at making sure that you're being really well taken care of. But you also have to be an advocate for yourself in those ways too, to make sure that you're staying safe and you're not uncomfortable. And because yeah, you get put in a lot of weird situations when you're a horror actor.
Okay, that's a good lesson. Take
Yeah.
yourself, yeah, yeah, take care of yourself. Okay,
Hmm.
over the years, you have worked, and you were saying like you're a friend of most of them. You're worked with some incredible actresses, and I believe like one of your first role was opposite Beverly Rochon, that is also like
Hmm.
established screen queen, independent
Yeah.
screen queen. And have you ever received any advice of these like established actresses, like horror actresses, like especially during the beginning of your career?
At the beginning, I think one of the best pieces of advice that I got was to build up my resume as quickly as possible. So just take on work, do as much work as you can. And I think that was very helpful because I learned a lot on movie sets, and I got a lot of experience, but also people started to recognize me and to know who I was because I was always doing something and meeting a lot of people and always really working. Um, and I think another something that another person said once was, film is forever. So whatever else you have, going on, what you put on that camera is going to exist forever. So
Yeah.
it's like that's important, and you really need to respect that and make sure that you're bringing everything that you have to it to be that's your legacy,
Yeah, yeah, you are.
that's
It's kind of like you're documenting like part of your life, no? Like,
Mhm.
of course, there's like every movie or every TV show or every short film that you do, like it's a part of your life. Like you're, I don't know, going through something, you break up with someone, you
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's so, yeah, of course, it's like
Yeah.
when you go back and watch everything, I am sure you can like experience all those feelings back, no?
Exactly. Remember where you were and what was happening at that time. And so, yeah, it's important to do it and do it well, and don't just like brush it off or throw it away.
So cool. Oh, yeah. Okay. As I mentioned early, you are part of one of the most like talk about horror releases of these years, VHS Halloween, which premiere on October 3rd on Shudder. And I don't know if you were aware for sorry sorry I don't know if you were aware of the fandom that this VHS franchise has. Like were you like before signing in you knew about it? Like this is so big for
I knew about the VHS movies because I saw the first one when it came out, and I saw the second one. I didn't realize there had been so many of them. This is the eighth one, and I
yeah,
didn't know that we were on number eight now. And I knew that people liked them, but I didn't know how much people liked them. And so that's something
exactly.
I've definitely been learning now that I'm part of that, is that there are people that really, really love these
Yeah,
movies.
it's our every year event. No, that's what we are waiting for, especially
Hmm.
during this spooky season. Like we know that we're gonna have a VHS movie every October since the last past eight years.
Yeah.
So it's huge. It's beloved in the horror community, and this franchise has give voices to so many newcomers, like so many new filmmakers, but also
Hmm.
like a big and famous names. Like 2 years ago, Scott Derrickson did a short.
Yeah.
The first one, I think we have Ty West. So yeah, there's like a mix of everything, and it's nice to see like how big filmmakers and new ones share their like space now in these anthology movies that are insanely good. They are like
Hmm.
brutal, they're gory, they're fun, and now you're part of it. You're
I
part of the
know.
universe.
It's so exciting, and it's so cool and such an honor to be part of it, because it really is, like you said, it's been a breeding ground for so many people that have gone on to do other amazing, like, big things. It's the springboard that launches a lot of people. So it's a just really cool franchise.
Yeah, and this one, Halloween, of course, it was long awaited. Like I think we wanted to have a VHS Halloween. And yeah, it's amazing. I really have an amazing time with it. I wish I could see it on the big screen. Like it's sad because these movies, like yeah, Shudder is an amazing platform, and I'm grateful to have it. Like 20 years ago, we didn't have this kind of
Hmm.
streaming service just for horror fanatics. So it's nice to have it and like kind of the same date internationally. So in Canada, US, UK, Australia. So yeah, we have this movie at the same day. But also, I would like to be able to watch these movies on the big screen. I hope I can do it someday, you know?
It was really nice because the premiere was at Fantastic Fest, and so we did get to see it on the big screen there, and then it played Beyond Fest in Los Angeles, and so another big screen there, and was a really great way to watch these movies when you're in a theater with a lot of horror fans who love the films and love the gore, and they get the jokes, and like they're reacting to it. So I think, I mean, even though it's on streaming now and not on in theaters, if people can like have their friends come over and all watch it together and get that like community atmosphere, I think that's the most fun way to watch the movies.
I really think like it has the potential to become one of like Halloween classics, no? Like a Trick or
Hmm.
Treat, like of course Halloween,
Yep.
like Tales of Halloween, like it has it all because you have some short that are really creepy, like the Paco Plaza short is it's
Hmm.
really creepy, it's scary. Your
Yeah.
short is amazing, like the artistry, like the all the set pieces, like the art, the this makeup that you do with all of these creatures. And it's really like, how can I say, like, I feel a little bit wholesome with the story because it's a really
Yeah.
cute, like, family story about, like, yeah, like the Halloween traditions, no? How when you grow up, you lose some of them, no? Especially like teenagers, like they don't want to deal with that
Yeah.
anymore, and you're trying to kind of keeping this alive, no? The fire of the Halloween alive.
Exactly. It has that like that Halloween feeling from when you were a kid, and so it makes you think about when you went trick-or-treating, and maybe there was a neighbor that had like some cool decorations, or something like that. So it really does have that, like, really kind of like what trick-or-treat, like you said, that kind of a, like a bit of a wholesome Halloween feeling to it.
Yeah, and I think for me, because I didn't grow up in North America, I grew up in Mexico, so we get to experience Halloween, like the real Halloween, through media, through
Yeah.
movies, through television shows. And even though like I didn't grow up in this environment, I really feel nostalgic watching VHS Halloween because it reminded me of when was watching, I was young and I was watching Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark? These teen shows that they were a little bit scary. Of course, VHS Halloween is the level is way up. You took some bold risk doing a few of the scenes that we're going to talk about later. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. I have so much fun watching it.
That's
And
exactly what they wanted for our segment. They pitched it as an R-rated Goosebumps. So that's exactly it.
and before you signing on to do the project, to do the VHS short, do you have any like favorite segments like from the previous ones?
Yeah. So there's a couple that I really loved. So in the first one, amateur night with the girl in the hotel room, and
Okay, yeah,
her eyes get big, and
that's
I
so
like
cool.
you. So good. And that one was great. In the second one, the one with the cult with the big like goat demon at the end,
I
that was in
th-
Thailand or Philippines or something like that, and that one is phenomenal and creepy. Um, Also in the second one, I really like, I think it's one of the first segments where they have the eyeball, like the that can see ghosts. So he has like an implant that can see ghosts. Um, and then in the last one, the where they went skydiving, they like
Beyond, no? VHS Beyond, I think it
yeah, and
was. Yeah,
beyond.
yeah,
And
it was
like
good.
all of those, like crazy, so
Yeah.
creative.
Did you ever audition for some of the previous movies, like the previous VHS?
I did audition for the one they did before, actually.
Okay,
For the fur babies segment with the girl that's the dog sitter, and the
okay.
two
You
little
auditioned for that role?
I did.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
Like
So
it was meant to happen. It was meant to
it was
happen.
meant to
You're
happen.
gonna.
This was way better. No, Nancy and Home Haunt, it was much better than
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would
yeah.
have
Of
been
course,
for
it's
me. For me.
no, no. It's a really it's I think it's a small role, but what you get to do there and show your skills and show like your scream and being a badass mom and kick
Hmm.
ass and yeah, you get to do everything like
I get
there,
to do
like
everything. Yeah. I get to be
so
the wholesome mom, and I get to be a great monster killer. So
exactly. So can you tell me how did your journey with this movie start? Like when did you get like your audition or how
Mhm.
was the process, no, to get the job?
So for this one, I've been friends with the directors of my segment for a long time, and they're wonderful, talented filmmakers. R.H. Norman and Micheline Pitt-Norman, married couple, and they're like brilliant filmmakers. And I've wanted to work with them for a while, and they told me that they had gotten chosen as one of the directors to do a segment, and the idea that they liked that they had pitched was the home haunt like family. And they're like, we think you could play the mom. Would you be interested
Mhm.
in doing that? And I said, yes,
Of course.
of course. I would love to. Um, and it actually it ended up working out, which it doesn't always work out correctly, because even if someone says that they want you, there's so many other people that are involved in the creative process that have to sign off on it. There's the producers and casting directors, and like there's steps that need to be taken
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
for this sort of thing. And so for this one, everyone approved of me, and were okay with bringing me on. And so it was just, yeah, it actually worked out.
And from the moment you sign up for the role and to start the principal photography, how do you prepare to play Nancy? Like when you have
We
the
had a
script
couple
already.
rehearsals.
Okay.
So with the directors, so we could get an idea of like what they were looking for with the characters. They said for me, they wanted her to be like the mom from Gremlins.
Okay.
Because I was like,
Mhm.
okay, okay. So I watched that. I also did some research into people that do home haunts. So there's a couple documentaries on Netflix that, do behind the scenes of all the people that build these
Oh, that's
crazy
so
homes
cool.
every year. So I watched those just to get in the mindset of people that, go to that
Mhm.
extreme. Um, and then there's also a YouTube channel that I found that I thought was really helpful. I think it's called like Hollywood Haunters. It's a family. It's basically the real life version of our family in the movie. um, because it's a husband and a wife and a little boy, and they do a big haunt every year. And so their YouTube channel is throughout the year them building all of the props and how do you make this, and like all the mom does all the painting and all the costumes, and the dad and the
Okay.
son are like, so it's basically the movie.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I watched a bunch of their videos too, just to like see how they interacted with each other and kind of the fun like humor that they had. And so I tried to bring all elements of all those different things into my role.
Yeah, I think you really nailed all of the family dynamic
Hmm.
between the first part of the short that is like on the 70s, I think it's set on the
Hmm.
70s, and when the kid is still small and you have this like dynamic, like Lowling a dynamic and he's still into it. And
Yeah.
then when you go to the 80s, like yeah, of course things happen, things change, but you really do like you can feel that like family love and family support and family like traditions, no, and love about the
Yeah.
Halloween.
And I have some of that in my life too, because we decorate for Halloween every year, and we have certain props, and that we put out in certain places. And so like I understand that the kind of ritual of
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
setup.
exactly. It's a whole ritual, no, and it's
Yeah.
something that you don't start like late October. You are thinking about all year, no? You
Oh,
kind of
yes. Exactly.
you're kind of like if you go to a thrift store or antique shop and you see something that you like, okay, I'm gonna get it. It doesn't matter if it's
Hmm.
December or January.
Yep.
I know I'm gonna use it, no? Or I know I'm
Yeah,
gonna need it
I'll use it.
for
I'll
next
save
year.
it for Halloween. I'll find a way to use it for Halloween. So, yeah.
Exactly. And did your character go through any changes from the initial script to the final film?
Not so much in like who she is as a person. That was always there. But there were some changes, minor changes
Okay.
to like the dialogue that happened during the rehearsal process, and also just based on pacing for the film. So there was a sequence when after the crypt, when we're in the hallway before the execution chamber, when the Judy, who's the neighbor, and I had like a fight, and like we like went after
Okay.
each other. But that all got taken out.
Okay.
It just didn't seem realistic for us to like stop and argue when we're fighting for our lives,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
in this maze.
So you
So
didn't even film those scenes. Like they were cut from the
no.
okay.
So that scene actually, so that scene was initially very long, and it had the
Okay.
fight, and it had like a lot of other stuff in it. So the fight was taken out, and we never even filmed Judy and I fighting. But then because it was found footage and it's supposed to be just one take, and so
Hmm.
you can't really cut that much, we actually shot three different versions of that scene so that they could choose which version they wanted to use in editing,
Okay.
because like in a normal movie you would just shoot the long
Yeah,
version and then they can
you just
shorten it.
cut, no? Cut whatever it
Right.
is, no?
Yeah.
But you cannot do this
But
in
you
yeah,
can't do
found
that with found
footage.
footage.
Hmm.
So the one that's in there is kind of the medium length version
Okay.
of what that scene would have been.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's incredible and knowing like I read that you shoot this in 5 days. Like,
5 days.
it blew my mind. Like, how can you do this? All of the work, like set pieces, monsters, like yeah, a lot of like killing. You're killing a lot of
Yeah.
characters there. Like,
Yeah. So
that's-
many effects, so many creatures, head to toe, full creatures, every new ones every single day. Like it was a lot.
Do you have any favorite set among all of them? Like to film? Like,
I really loved the witch's bog and the witch's hut.
okay.
I think that was my favorite because that was just the most, to me, the most impressive, and the most fantastical, and like it was so beautiful.
Yeah,
I don't,
the climax, no,
yes,
of the
yeah, so
show.
beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, I love the way like when the ballerina girl started going through the witch house and all that.
Mhm.
It's so creepy, but it's also fun, no? Like
Yes,
uh,
yes.
fun. Yeah, I want that was my favorite, and I really like the torture chamber.
Hmm.
That scene was so impressive. Like, and of course, because you get to do more in that specific
Yes.
scene.
Yeah, I get to protect my family a bit in that one.
I think I know the answer to this, but you did your own stunt, right?
Hmm.
Like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So in this one, it was there was all the physicality and everything in that, and the swinging with the axe and all that. Yeah, all me.
Yeah, yeah. I think I found some of your like TikTok videos that you post, I don't know when, and you were sharing like stunt performance, and I was, oh my God, Sarah can do everything. Like she's doing the stunts, she's doing this and that. Like, yeah, oh my God, every director should have like will be a dream to work with you, like to have you
That's
in
the
the cast.
idea. But I have a lot of fun doing that stuff. I like doing, physical performances, and I've always been athletic. I played sports when I was growing up. And so when I've done movies where I learned how to sword fight, or where I get to do like just, and being in horror, it's very physical
Physical,
also,
yeah, exactly.
especially, you're getting attacked or you're attacking, and there's a lot of, blood and all sorts of stuff. So I've always loved playing physical roles, and doing as many of my own stunts as I can, especially when you work in horror and work in low budget horror. They don't have
Hmm.
money
Yeah,
to
yeah. You
to
need to do
hire a stunt
everything.
person. So you have to learn at least a little bit of how to do it and how to do basic fight choreography and punches. And so I've learned that. I've learned sword fighting, and then I saw an opportunity to learn how to do some wire work, and I thought
Okay.
that looked really fun.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
I saw on TikTok. You
yeah.
were doing the wire work. It's great. Are you afraid of those like scenes, like doing wire work?
I would
I,
love to do some wire work.
okay.
I mean, so that's also why I went to take a class to try it. So, I can try it somewhere where if I hate it and I'm scared and I don't want to do it, I'm not on a movie set.
Mhm.
So it's a safer place. And to also just have an idea of how to hold your body when you're like doing certain things. So I will be better at it for when I hopefully do actually
Mhm.
do it in a movie.
Okay, like finger crossed.
Yeah,
I know you're gonna do something next year.
I
You're
hope
gonna
so.
blow us like our minds. Okay. How do you get ready for like, of course, the fun part, like the bloodbath? How do you get ready for like the screaming part, for the horror part? Like, do you have any like ritual or routine before filming these intense scenes?
Usually for the intense stuff, I have like some breathing exercises that I like to do, and it just kind of it wakes you up, it wakes your body up. And I find it's better to do those, and it's kind of like a panting sort of thing that I do, and it just like it gets you like jazzed and like riled up and like ready to go. So when you're doing the intense scenes, and you actually kind of are actually out of breath because you were just, um, doing that to mess with your breath. And so it just makes it more realistic, and it charges your body in a different way than if you were to try to fake it. So I like to do that as like a preparation for those things, and then for the like the reacting to like the blood and the screaming and like all that sort of stuff, I usually just try to be in the moment and go with whatever's happening and just not think about it, not plan it, just react to whatever
Hmm.
happens. But I have also had to learn how to keep your eyes open when you're getting hit with blood
Oh.
and to not anticipate when you know that blood's going to come at your face. You have to
Uh.
like not flinch. So I have had to learn how to do that.
Yeah, and but especially like on independent film, it's mostly one take, no?
Yeah,
One or two
yeah.
takes, and that's it. So yeah,
Yep.
you need to
Yep.
be.
You don't have time to go and get cleaned up and get your makeup done again. Nope, no time for that.
Do you have any like surprises on the set? Like maybe the directors have like some scares for you guys, like something not planned, and like to see the reaction, like real reaction on you?
I don't think I've ever had that happen. That would
Oh,
be really fun. That would,
yeah,
I
like
think that would,
real
yeah.
scares.
Yeah, that would be really fun, I think, if someone did that. But a lot of times with, low budget and independent films, you're going so fast and you just have to get so much done and there's yeah, not not a lot of time.
Yeah, you're focusing on finish not your day, and
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, 5 days, of course, is not much.
Not much, not much at all.
I want to ask you about the aesthetic of Nancy. I really like the fashion choices that you did to the character.
Hmm.
I love the spider web blouse that you wear on the 70s part,
Hmm.
and then your costume as the bride of the Frankenstein is amazing. You look so good. And how do you, I don't know if you collaborate with Micheline for the costumes, or was her ideas? How was it?
Yeah, so most of that was Micheline, and she knew for the hair also, like the 70s hair with
Okay.
the like Farrah Fawcett feathers and then the curly hair for the 80s. So she chose those wigs. She knew exactly what she wanted for each of those. And then for the costume choices, we did a costume fitting
Okay.
and she because her and I are a lot of those costume pieces that I wore are actually her personal from
Oh
her
my
personal
God.
collection.
That's insane.
And so her and I have we're roughly the same size. And so she brought a lot of those in and we just tried them on and saw what looked good. Some of the things that I liked were a little too sexy for a mom in the 80s. So it was a combination of finding the things that worked for the character that
Mhm.
we also both liked personally.
Yeah. Did you have, besides the Bride of Frankenstein, do you have any options for that scene, like the
That was
Halloween?
always just the Bride of
Okay,
Frankenstein.
okay. That
Yep.
was on the script too?
Yeah, that was in the
Okay.
script. Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you look amazing, amazing on the, and
Thank you.
I really like that. Basically, the promo for the movie is you, and
Yeah.
this picture of you and the actor playing your husband, Kit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yep.
you're
Mhm.
the main promotional picture, no, of the picture of
Yeah,
the
with us with
images.
our hands
Exactly.
in front of the haunted house. Yeah.
Yeah, that's must be really cool, no? um, I know that you. Sorry. Before that, because I know that Micheline was. She's been sharing a lot of like BTS
Hmm.
on the movie, BTS on the like or the behind the scenes and the creation of all of the makeup and all that. And I have a question about the antique store. Like, is this is like a real store, or I blow my mind.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing what they have there. Like, is in LA that store?
So that store was a real store. I believe it's called Play Clothes.
Okay.
And so it's like a vintage antique store. A lot of the stuff that they had in the like the do not enter part
Uh-huh.
where Keith finds the record. A lot of those pieces are again Micheline's
Okay.
personal pieces. So you can't go to the store and find those things,
Okay.
but everything that's in the front, that was the actual store.
And actually, some of the pieces used on the sets is also like Michelin's and
Yeah.
her husband RH personal collection, no? And
Yes.
even that I read that you gave some of the your pumpkins, no, to the set.
Yeah, exactly. So since, as you can tell, we have a lot of pumpkins that we've carved, and we shot in June in Los
Okay,
Angeles,
yeah,
and there, you can't
and
get any pumpkins
impossible.
in June. No. So Micheline and RH have a lot of their some pumpkins that were theirs that they brought, and then we let them use some of our pumpkins too, just like ones like this, like the
Mhm.
faces, just so we could at least have some pumpkins and make it feel like Halloween.
Did you collaborate in something else, like in filming, in the filming process? I don't know, like giving ideas or I don't know.
I feel like the whole thing was
Very
pretty
collaborate.
collaborative. Yeah, very collaborative. And I really appreciated that because sometimes you walk on you go to a set and it's very much this is your job, just do this and stay in this lane. But their sets were not like that at all. It was if anyone had any ideas about anything, like feel free to say it. Like, we all want this to be as best that it can be, and so we want input
Mhm.
from everyone, which I think was really wonderful.
Yeah, and it shows. It shows like you were really like a family for 5 days, where you were a family, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
we really
sure
were.
like people like maybe doesn't have too much scenes or like they have less screen time. They were still there, no, helping and watching
Hmm.
you guys filming and reacting. Yeah, it
Exactly.
shows. And like now, like sharing like all this sharing pictures and videos on social media, like it really shows that you have fun doing
We
it.
did. We had a lot of fun. We had a very good time.
Okay, I have another question. So you have some young actresses in the cast. Did you give some of advice or approach how to react to these horror scenarios now that you are the screen queen veteran of the on the set?
So there was one instance where and I thought this was really cute because I try not to I try to respect them as performers
Okay.
also, even though, I'm doing my thing, they're doing their thing, and I trust that they are capable. They're
Mhm.
here,
Yeah, they
so
were
and
chosen
they
for
were
that.
chosen. And I'm not the director, so I don't want to like give them advice unless they ask for it because I don't feel like that's really my place to do. But the girl that plays the ballerina at one point, when Jeff and I were kind of like doing our breathing exercises to like get ready to go and like run through this thing and doing like this panting, and so she starts trying to do it too, which was really cute just to get like to I was like, okay. Just so yeah, that was adorable. She was trying to like learn from us, to get ready to go do it, all this stuff.
Yeah, and she's learning from the best, from the best of the best. So yeah, it's a good a free lesson at least,
Yes, exactly.
that's so cool. Okay, if you have the opportunity to further explore this universe of Homehound, what direction would you like to take to Nancy, to your character?
I mean, I would love it if they explored this more and made it into like a whole feature or
Uh,
something. I think that a really cool way to do that would be to like we have the beginning now where the haunt is coming alive, and then I feel like Nancy would kind of take over as the decision maker of, well, we have to stop it. How do we stop it? How do we, turn this off and save everyone? Because that's really what she's trying to do throughout the entire maze is save her family,
mhm.
save the neighbors, save the kids. And she's really the one that's taking charge in trying to do that. So I think she would continue with that, if it were a feature.
Yeah, I would like to. I totally would like to see a sequel, a spin-off,
Hmm.
or like a full no feature about the family, and of course
Yeah,
you three back to the road.
me
Like
too.
yeah, we so good. And also, I read that you developed like a full backstory on your character, like the relationship with the husband.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, I want to you step into Nancy's shoes, and I want to know what's her letterbox top four films, like horror films.
Oh, so
Nancy's.
okay. Yeah. So Bride of Frankenstein would be number one. And in my backstory, that was my first date with my husband that we went to a
Oh,
drive-in movie
secret.
theater and saw Bride of Frankenstein. I thought that was our first one. But I think she would really like a lot of those classic universal movies. So I think like Creature from the Black Lagoon would be another one. I think Monster Squad, even though that came out later than when
Mhm.
Nancy would have existed in real life. And then let's see. Um, what else? What else? Trying to think if there would be another good one.
I feel like it will be like the classics, no? As you say, like
Yeah,
yeah, like
exactly. Yeah.
like yeah, 70s maybe. I don't know, The Shining or Carrie. Some of those,
I
like
think that's too scary for Nancy. I think like Carrie and or like Texas Chainsaw
oh yeah, yeah,
Massacre
that
or
will
any
be a
of
little bit
that
yeah.
is I think that's too much. Like I think Nancy is like likes the nicer,
Mhm.
friendlier
No,
horror.
or maybe like Dracula, like some like love
Yeah,
story, like
something
yeah,
exactly. Something more
yeah.
along those lines. Yeah.
Okay, and not I don't want to know like if you have your top four, but just can you give me like a maybe three picks of maybe like the Sarah Nicklin experience for Halloween? Like what will be like three films that you'll share like with audience like oh you need to watch this for Halloween. Like
Yeah.
Halloween is coming, so
So every year, because I have a stack of Halloween movies I watch every year, but and sometimes it changes, but absolutely I watch Micro Dough Goodies Trick or Treat because
okay.
that feels
Yes.
so much like Halloween to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Love it. I watch Tales of Halloween. I had a lot of friends
Anthology.
that worked on that, and it's also really, really great. And then I watch The Crow the night before Halloween because it takes place on Devil's Night, so I watch it on Devil's Night.
Okay. And what about from your own filmography? What will be like
Oh,
your top pick for okay, this is
like
what you
Halloween.
what you need to watch on that night, like from your own filmography.
I think VHS Halloween feels the most
Yeah,
Halloween.
yeah,
So
same.
I will say probably that one and then Exhumed. So a movie I did a while ago, but it's got a kind of it's black and white and it's very slow, but it has this really creepy feeling to it that I really like. And then let's see what else. What else is like Halloween? So I did another movie a while ago called Beyond the Dunwich Horror,
Okay.
and it's like a H.P. Lovecraft like cosmic horror movie, but it takes place in New England in the
Mm,
fall, and so
mhm.
you have
I
the
have the
leaves
vibe,
changing
no?
color.
Has the
Yes, you
vibe.
have the vibe
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I hope it's not too hard to find because yeah, some of your movies you have a lot of movies available on Tubi, like you have like
mhm.
five or six, but some of your early work is kind of impossible to get. Like,
Yeah, I know. It's hard because like when they first came out, they came out on DVD and it was released and now everything's on streaming. And some of those movies at that point when streaming really became so popular, they never got transferred over. So it's kind of it's some of them it is hard to find.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you have some of your like like print work? Like I don't know.
I do.
Okay,
I really try to every time a movie comes out, even if the production doesn't send me one, I'll go out and buy
you
one
buy it, yeah.
just so
Okay.
that I have it. So I have
Hmm.
because you never know. That's the thing. You never know on streaming if it's going to go away, if you can find it, not find it
Yeah.
later.
Or
So I always
sometimes you think it's gonna be forever in one platform, and when
hmm
you see like there's a disappear, no? They
Yeah.
didn't pay like the license, and yeah, it's insane. Like we're living in a world like we have 10 different platforms. It's impossible to be paying all of them and
Oh, there's
watching
no
all of
way.
them.
Yeah, no
So
way.
I have I just one last question, like related to your work.
Mhm.
Have you ever audition for something that you really wanted to play and you didn't get at the end? Like something that you feel like, oh my God, this is my role. This is I know I was born to play this, and maybe you didn't get it like for any reasons.
I mean, all the time. That's part of the the game with acting is auditioning and then getting the rejection and
Okay.
not being able to do it. So there were I auditioned for the Netflix show that just came out, Monsters with Ed Gein.
Okay.
And so I had a callback for that, but I ended up, not getting it,
Okay.
but it would have been great, would have been
Hmm.
amazing. American Horror Story was another one that like I auditioned for that a bunch of times, had callbacks, the whole
Oh my God.
thing.
You will be
And
like
like,
perfect for one of the like Cohen
mhm,
season, like the witch season or like Murder
exactly.
House. Like I was really into HSC, like AHS, but I think I lost like after a few seasons. Like I lost the interest.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep, no? Like so
Yeah,
many
yeah, I
seasons.
agree. The first seasons were better, I think, and it
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
yeah, fell off after that. But
What about a movie? Did you? I don't know if this is a rumor or maybe I'm wrong. Did you audition for Starry Eyes?
I did, yes.
You
Which would have been
will.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't get that one. And Alex Esso, who got it, and did a, phenomenal job. But that would have been really cool. I would have loved to have done
I
that.
love that movie, and I will totally see you there. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like of course it's not real life, but it's kind of like a mirror, no, of being a working actor and
Yeah.
struggling, no, struggling, getting like needed to pay your rent and getting auditions and not getting the job. Like, it's
Yeah.
yeah, that's the like
That's it.
yeah.
That's it. That's
And
that's the life.
the sacrifice not that you do for the dream. Like of course this
Yes.
is like a kind of creepy cold thing going on, but yeah, yeah, you sacrifice a lot now to
Yeah.
get your career going.
You have to be focused on it all the time and be always available and always ready to go. And that means everything else in your life is second. So
I
that's
got
just how it is.
Sarah, it was a pleasure to talk with you.
You too.
I really wish I could have the like the opportunity to meet you in a convention. I know that you're doing
Maybe we
conventions now,
will.
so anytime you are here, like Vancouver area or Seattle, if you come to a horror convention, I will go to meet you. Like, yeah,
That would be
guys, a
awesome.
pleasure. So last, you have a one upcoming project, like you're doing you're presenting on the Fangoria Chainsaws